Today, just I'm going to talk about these details. So intro. So we have already done. So SAS. So anything if you want to learn anything, just maybe we need to focus on these five W's and H. What, why, where, who, when, how. So then probably more in depth to learn any of the things. So what is SAS? So some of you have answered SAS is statistical analysis. Yeah, it's a statistical analysis system. We call it as statistical analysis. There is no derivation for SAS, but we call it as a statistical analysis system because this is mainly used in statistics. Okay, and the SAS starts around in 1970s. So from 1970s, companies are using SAS. And why we use SAS? So SAS license is very costly and the security levels are very high. Suppose if I talk about clinical and banking or any retail, clinical data, suppose any company, they are going to introduce any medicine. So they do some uh, test before they launch any product, any medicine. So they have different phases, phase one, phase two, phase three, phase four. Then once all the phases are completed, then they introduce the medicine. So if anything goes out by mistake or any fraud happens, so that is a huge loss to the company. So that is the reason. So SAS is very secured. What do you call software. So it's very difficult, kept the data. So that's the reason we use SAS. That's the reason why we use SAS. And banking, if I talk about banking side, banking, as you know, I think all of you are using credit cards or any debit card, same information. So if something goes out, so that is a big fraud, and there's a huge loss to the company. Okay, and any guess where we use SAS? I already talked about. Please do. Any guess other than clinical banking where we use SAS?
Healthcare.
Yeah, healthcare. Any guesses? Okay, one is clinical, banking, healthcare,
Insurance.
retail, telecom. We use. I think almost all of the areas where we use SAS. Okay, and who uses SAS? It's I already mentioned the answer. So suppose if you want to introduce any medicine or if you want to know, you are the customer, you use the credit card. Just I want to know what the customers are making the credit card bill 10,000 per month. So and based on the historical data, then we need to find out what the customers are going to do the delinquency or is there any medicine suppose we are using in a market, suppose if I want to make that introduce again the medicine, so then based on the history then they'll find out how much of the amount of the medicine they are going to introduce, so that things comes in when we require. So it's still about statistical, so there are some statistical analysis we do. We have a we do find out the probability based on there are some procedures in SAS uh, by using that. So we'll find out we do some modeling and find out the best way of finding out the results. Okay, so any uh, uh, any questions? You want to know anything about these 4 or 5 topics? That's a simple basics.
Hello.
Yeah.
Well, like we need any coding languages for learning for this?
Yeah, I'll come to that. I'll come to that.
Okay.
Okay. So any questions apart from this? Okay. So we require a there is do you know SQL, structured query language?
Yeah, yeah.
So all of you know the structured query language are only one person.
We don't know about that.
Okay, okay, okay. I'll come to that. So SQL is where we use little bit in SAS. So that also covers in the sessions. So let me just introduce uh, the software. So how it looks like. Okay. Can you see? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So I'll just talk about the this is a base SAS where you can just write the code. This is an editor where you can write the code, and this is a log. Suppose you write the code, just want to know how the code is performed, whether the code is giving any error or the code is successfully run. Then output. So you run the process, you run the code, then it will give the output. So where you can see the output. These are the three the major windows in SAS. On the left side, you can see libraries and files, and these are the results and explore. All the results come are located in this location. Explore, you can mainly we use libraries where you can have the existing libraries already we have in SAS. Okay. So work is a library where it is a temporary. Suppose you run some program and you close the session, your all the data will go off. So it's not going to save it in work. To save the permanent data, you want to save the data and you want to uh, use the data in tomorrow or future. Then we need to create the data permanently. So that we need to create a library for it. Those things will mainly comes here. So these are the defaults, the libraries which SAS will create, SAS has created. Okay, this is the base SAS software. So coming to SAS Easy. So SAS Easy is a SAS enterprise guide where you can also write a programs here. Let me just, so here you can write a program and go to the view and task status. So you can write the programs here. So this, I think you may ask why you need base SAS separately and SAS ET separately. Why they and so there are something in SAS ET you can just uh, uh, you can tell us this process flow. Suppose you have 4 or 5 programs you want to run one after another. So SAS easy, so you can use the SAS easy and uh, that that you can schedule it and the program you can run it one after another without manual intervention. Okay, so this is all about SAS software and SAS easy. So any questions on this? You want to know anything about software, SAS software or SAS easy? Okay, let me go to the next one. So I think probably. So have you heard about table, rows, columns by any chance?
Like in SQL, we are going to learn there, right? Or like creating tables and rows.
Yeah. So let me explain in a nutshell. So suppose if I take this worksheet, so worksheet is something like a table. Okay. And suppose these 1, 2, 3. So these we call it as a, this is column A, column B, column C, column D. Okay. And these are the ones, these are the rows, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So in normal terms, we call it as a, so row number 1, row number 2, row number 3, and column A, column B, column C. General terms, we talk about this. But coming to SAS, in SAS, we call it as a table is named as a data set. Suppose if I say table, in SAS, we name it as a data set. Okay. And rows we call it as observations. Number of observations and so on. And columns, we call it as a variables. You can call it as a data set or a table, number of rows, number of columns in SAS as well. But general SAS terms, I'm telling that how we call it as a table as a data set, rows are observations, columns are variables in SAS language. Okay. Any questions till now? This is just basic understanding. If I directly go into SAS and write a code, I think you may ask different lot of questions. So to overcome this I'm explaining the, uh, the basic points in SAS. Okay. Okay. Coming to the next topic, I'll talk about. So, any guesses? What are the data types normally? Any guess? Data. What are the data types normally? Here you can see how many data types we have. Any guess?
Character.
Yeah. So numeric and character. Correct. In SAS also we have two data types, same as you mentioned. So character and numeric. Can I ask one question here? So if I take a date, so if I take birthday date, so will it a character or numerical special characters? Can we treat them?
Character.
Any guess? Date is a character or a numeric, or we have a separate data
Numeric.
type? Yeah.
Character.
So I think someone has told the right answer. So date is a numeric, but the representation we tell it, that is a different format we are telling. Suppose if I mention here second 12 2023. Okay, so this if I check and see format cells, this is a representation of a date. Okay, and in SAS we have different formats. We can represent in different formats in SAS. But this is one question they'll ask: what are the data types in interview questions? If they want to start with the basic, they'll ask the first question: how many data types in SAS? You can tell numeric and character. Then they'll ask what is the data type of date. Date is a numeric, but the representation might be differ. There are different date formats we have. That is coming later. Okay. Any questions till now? Okay, cool. So I think you may ask one more question here. So suppose the data which is having a missing. So numeric is, suppose if I have a missing value here. Okay. And you can write names here. Ravi, I can write. Jyoti, I can write. So Manohar, I can write. Okay. So this is normal, the basic which I'm telling. So you can see some missing values in the numeric and character, correct? So how do we represent, how SAS knows whether it is a character missing or a numeric missing? Okay, numeric missing is represented with a dot. Okay, in character it's a space, just a space in characters. And SAS will notify that if it is a dot, so that is a numeric missing, and if it is space, it is nothing but a character missing. Okay, so let me go to this. This is done. Okay, so let me go to the SAS. Okay. In SAS, if you write any program, we have data step, and proc step. Data step is nothing but where you can create a data, Proc step, you can do some create any report, do analysis. Proc is nothing but procedure. Data step tells us it's by using data step we can create a data set, we can modify a data set. Data set in the sense it's a table. Okay, if we talk about data set, it's a table. And we have in SAS, if you write any number of lines of code, anything, we are only having these two things, data step and proc step. Data step, which is used to create a data set or modify the data set. The proc steps, which we can print the data, or we can do any analysis, or we can produce, if you want to produce any report, that is using by proc step. Proc is nothing but procedure. Okay, so let me quickly go to these things and these I mentioned. Okay, let me just quickly take you through the examples, how we can write a SAS program. Suppose if I want to comment this, okay, we can comment this, and which is a readable. If you run it, so it will not run the commented part in SAS. Shortcut was control and slash, and uncomment control shift and slash uncommented. So suppose you write a program, and uh, suppose someone wants to refer the program to understand the other person, you can write it to your comments. Okay, by using the comments, by using these comments, so that the other person can easily understand what the program you have written, what the calculation you have done, that the other person easily can understand. Okay, the next part I'll explain. So this is a demo class, so that I'm just briefing about this thing. So as I mentioned, in SAS we have keywords. So now the color which is coming as red. So if I put a data, so data, this is a keyword in SAS. And suppose if I want to mention A is a data set name, which is which is a new data set which I'm creating. Okay, then I'm putting X equal to 1. So I'm just simply writing a program. So I'm creating a data set A just with X equal to 1. So in each statement, in any data step or proc step, which ends with run, if I put data, it should end with run. And observe this. Do you observe anything on these 3 lines? Anything? Anything comes on your mind?
So like a data is a table, A is like a column, X is equal to row, that's the ending of one.
Okay. This is a keyword. This data is a keyword. As I mentioned, data step Data is a keyword to create a is a data set name. This a is a data set name or a table name. So you are just putting x equal to 1 and you are putting run. Okay. And if you observe, each statement ends with semicolon. Okay. In SAS, each statement ends with semicolon. Suppose if I run this program, you can just click on here. There is a submit button. Can you see this run button here? If I click this one, so it will just run the program. Or you can use the shortcut F3 on your keyboard. Everything will work. So as I mentioned earlier, the editor window, you write a program here. I'll go and check log. So log will tell the program data A is created, x equal to 1, whatever the program we have written, which comes here. And it tells the node. So dataset work.a has one observation and one variable. Okay. The good thing in SAS, you can easily identify the errors in SAS. So you can easily identify. If I talk about Python, it's very difficult to identify the errors in Python. But SAS, you can easily tell. Suppose if I miss semicolon here, okay, just running by pressing F3 button. F3. So see what it is saying, syntax error. Syntax error, you missed the semicolon expecting one of these. Since SAS is a very good tool where you can easily identify the errors. I missed out the semicolon as I mentioned. Every SAS statement ends with colon. So I missed out the semicolon here by mistake. So SAS will tell, okay, this is a syntax error. You missed, you missed out something apart following this one. You missed out. Okay, suppose if I do x equal to 1, if I run this thing, now it will just tell on the data set. So this is the data work.a. So it means it was created in work. If I go see and here, the work data set. So in SAS, the data sets looks like this. If I double click here, it will open in a view. See x equal to 1. As I mentioned, this is a variable, x equal to variable, and this is a value. X equal to variable and 1 is a value of x. Okay, but are you getting anything in the output? Are you getting anything on the output? Yes or no? No, right? We are not getting anything in the output, correct?
No, no.
Okay, so as I mentioned, this is a data step. If I go on prop data A run, so prop print. Okay, so I use this is the procedure prop print. So what it does is it will just print the data in the output. So if I use prop print data equal to A is a data set name which I have created. And as I mentioned, you can run it in the same line. So you can just put these two lines in here, but it should separate it with the semicolon. So suppose if I run this one, so it will come x equal to 1. Output window, it will produce the result. So that is given here. Okay, so let me go to this. Let me write another program. Proc free data equal to A. Run. So it will just give the how many observations in this particular program in the table. Suppose this. So let me just go. I covered these things. So any questions till now? So any questions on data step or proc step? Well, this is the basic thing you want to know, that what is SAS and what we can run, what is your data keyword, what is your proc keyword, and what does this proc print do? And these all comes later. I'm just giving you brief demo on it. What is data step and proc step? Any questions till now? No? Okay, I'll ask one question. So can I use, because can I use the alphabet? Can I use a numeric here instead of alphabet? Let me try data 1 1. So 3. See, we can't use the numerics directly here. So it will tells the following syntax or expecting one of the following a name. The SAS is very good language to, because when you use anything by mistake, so it will tell in log. So suppose if I use the same thing, underscore A, will it work? Let's see. Yeah, so underscore. So this is a SAS tells us you cannot use directly a number, the dataset name or the table name. It should start with underscore or any alphabet. It should not start with any numeric or with special characters. At the rate A, we use, will it work or not? See. Same issue. It tells directly. It's a syntax error. So the data step, the table name or the dataset name should start with underscore or any alphabet. It should not start with numeric or any special character. Okay, clear? You guys clear or not? Okay, so I'll ask one more question. So can I give the length? So the variable length I can give these many characters or not? So you can see on this here, the line number, what line number we're running and what column position we're getting here. Suppose if I run this one, it tells, see, the dataset name cannot have more than 32 bytes. So everything tells in SAS. So you should not use the dataset name more than 32 characters. Okay, if I can run this one, let's see. Yeah, it was created. Am I clear? You guys are following me or not? Anyone can respond.
Like 32 bytes means like a 16 digits or 32 digits?
It's 32 digits, 32 characters. You can calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 32 will work. We'll go on here. See, if I give more than 32 characters, so put another one here. Let's see, will it work or not? See, it should cannot exceed more than 32 bytes. Bytes, you can just call it as a characters, 32 characters. As we counted from here, it should not exceed more than 32. It should within 32. Within 32, you can give any name. That is a dataset name.
This coding will running with SQL commands or
Yeah, I'll come to that. I'll come to that. So this is a SAS. Okay. Suppose you want to write any SQL query. So we have a proc SQL, PROC, and SQL. We have a procedure like this. Okay. Suppose proc SQL select where and I think if you're familiar with SQL, SQL select star from. I can use the existing. So this suppose I have, let me go to the Explorer. So these many data sets which I've created here, right? If I use directly A is an existing data set which I've already created. So I'm printing proc SQL select star from table name and SQL it should end with quit. Okay, so let me just run this one. See, just have created. I just select the query. So I want to create a data set name here. Create table name as A. Okay, proc SQL. If you want to run any SQL queries, you need to use proc SQL. If I run this one, so let's see. See, for AA, which was created by proc SQL. If I go to Explorer and see, A is created. Okay, we can create we can run the SQL queries. Suppose you return run statement here. Okay, instead of a script, you run the statement here. Let's see what it shows in the script. So you can see you cannot open. Sorry. So this data set was already open, so that's the reason you cannot open them. So it is asking me to close. So let me just run the program again. See here, proc SQL statements are executed immediately. The run statement has no effect. So we can directly use script, not the run statement. Okay. So these things, yeah. So let me just take you through what I'm going to cover. What are the chapters which I'm covering up? So introduction, I just take you through the introduction. What is the need for SAS and these things. So the rules for SAS statement that I mentioned, one of the rules that ends with semicolon and namings as I mentioned. So rules for the SAS names, variable names that comes later, type of variables, numeric character, those things. These are the chapters which I'm going to cover. How SAS works. Well, suppose you have the client has given an Excel file. So how do you read that Excel file into SAS? Suppose the client is having the data is on Teradata. How you going to connect to the Teradata and pull the data into SAS, and you do some modifications to the existing. Any ASCII files in the sense it shows Excel, CSV, text file. These things, you can just by SAS, you can just read that or import that into SAS dataset. And suppose if you have an existing data, somebody has created a data set in a permanent library. So you want to use the data set, existing data set, you want to create a new data set. We can do that in SAS. So these things which I'm going to cover, reading the data set, reading data from a data set, as I mentioned, SAS information formats mainly comes as I mentioned, date formats, which is coming. SAS functions, it's a vital role. SAS functions will play in a vital role in SAS. You don't want to learn anything more, don't want to learn more things. So you just, there are the list of SAS functions we commonly use. Maybe you can just use that. If you have any doubt, you can just Google and find out the uh, specific function you want to use. Arrays we have in SAS, groupings, and there are some topics on um, merge. Suppose you have two tables. One table have a customer information, one table have a product information. You want to join both. So in one table, I want to know the customer as well as the product. How do you do that? So that also you can do it in SAS. Suppose you have two tables, table A and table B. You want to concatenate both. So suppose in data set A is having four records, four observations, and data set B is having eight observations. I want to concatenate both or append both data sets. So that also we can do it in SAS by set statement. So we have a SAS procedures as well, as I mentioned. So these are the topics, and ProcSQL, as I mentioned. Yes, I have written a query in ProcSQL. In macros, this is an advanced topic. Um, I'll just brief you about this macros. Suppose you have a country as in India, and you want to find out the population in different states. Okay, and that state you want to pass it 5 times. So I want to first run. I want to know what is the population in Hyderabad, and next time I want to know what is the population in Bangalore. If I want to pass 4 or 5 times or run the query in multiple times, so macros will play a vital role here. I can pass a macro variable. In this case, I can pass the uh, town name is Hyderabad or Bangalore. I can pass Pune, so whatever I want. So macros will play a vital role. It is something like an automation where you can do by using macros. So ODS output delivery system. Suppose the client want the output in a ODS HTML or ODS PDF format. So those things will come here. The if the client wants which drug is if we talk about in clinical science, if you have 10 drugs and out of 10 drugs, which drug performs very well and which drugs give the profit and which drug is making good sales, those things will come. Want to prepare any report on this ODS system or this ODS comes in the picture. Okay, in a nutshell, I have another syllabus here. That is a very deep depth. So this thing, introduction to SAS, variable, some data set, data options, loop. Suppose in India population, you want to know the population for Hyderabad only. So then we need to use where statement, and you need to just filter out where or using where or if statements. And SAS function, as I talked about, and procedures. These are the procedures we're going to learn. SAS procedures. So the reports, bodies. This is something in a nutshell I can say. These things are going to cover. I think I'm pretty much done. Do you guys any queries? Any anything you want to know about SAS? Any questions? Any questions?
Hello.
So
Hello.
you guys are clear?
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like after completion of this course, how much we can learn? More than 2 years. Like I'm thinking to with going to fake with 2 years. So
Yeah. So
can I give that much of output
yes, of
for?
course. I'll promise you. And so as I mentioned, so I'm going to cover interview questions. As I mentioned in first question, what is the data type? What are the data types in SAS? So I'm ready. I am promise you and what are the interview questions they'll ask for, and the certification I'll help you on it. So I think suppose if you done the certification, so your resume is weighted is compared to others. So I'll help you on this certification, doing certification based in advance. So I'll explain I think most of you work from clinical side, right? So I'll
No,
take
I
you through.
actually I don't have any experience on SAS or clinical banking and retail. The three I don't have any experience.
See, so these clinical and banking and retail, these are the
Just
what do
for
you
that.
call? They're different areas. SAS is a common thing which you can use. You can use SAS in clinical side, you can use in banking, and you can use retail. So the SAS coding is similar. These are the projects I'm talking about. So clinical project or banking or so suppose if you want to suppose you done the anything on related to clinical on education side. So you can go on the clinical. Okay. Suppose if you want to go on the banking side, then I'll help you on it. I'll help you to prepare a resume on the clinical or banking or retail side.
So okay,
With
my
my
background,
yeah,
my program is the BTech.
yeah, BTech, yeah, I can suggest you can go on the banking or retail. Clinical, I think most of the folks in this session, so they have done they are on a clinical side, their background, the education background, or they are in pharma background, so they are good to go on the clinical side. I'll suggest you on it based on your education and stuff because I'm a BTech student.
Okay.
So I selected banking. It's depends. Suppose you are going for a trial and you got an opportunity on a clinical side as you are on a BTech, then uh, your your profile will get changed from others to clinical. If you are continue with clinical, that is fine. If you want to go with the bank or retail, that is also fine. That is absolutely in your hand.
Okay, can I go to any three of these?
Yeah, I can go on banking. Banking uh, is familiar to use. I'll
Please.
promise you, as I mentioned, so I'll help you on it, making a resume and explain the projects and help you on the interview questions. In each topic, I'll ask you to make a note as a I. If I talk about I, that is related to interview questions. If I say related to C, that is related to certifications. While telling a topic, so I'll just tell you that. So this is related. The certification they may ask the question and certifications, or they may ask the question and interview questions. So maybe you can just note it down for interviews or in certification. That is easy for you to go through this and you can crack the interview or exam. That I'll promise you on it.
Is it mandatory to do certification for the job purpose as well?
Now, suppose you are the one who has done the certification and Theorus has not done the certification. Whose profile is weightage? Yours or theirs?
Yes, of course, me only.
Yeah.
But for freshers, we are 2 years below. I wanted to go end to end.
Yeah. Even I have done in one and a half year I done my certification while I was in initial days. Base SAS you can easily crack, but advanced you need some time. But you start working on it, or you can just put the resume and 2 years of experience and if you don't do the certification, that is also good. No issue.
Yeah, but
But
like
I'll help you on the certification. That is what I'm saying.
but once we get the practical experience, then we move to do the certification. That is a better too,
Okay,
right?
that is in the so in the in the training also. I'm This is not I'm directly just telling and you are following, right?
Yeah,
So in a week, so I'll take 3 classes. Suppose today I talk about something. I'll ask you to prepare notes for it and create some examples on what is data step. And I ask you to create a uh, I'll ask you to prepare some examples, and tomorrow you're going to share it or in WhatsApp. So it's something like it's two-way work. If I talk about and telling the training, and that is fine for me, but the how much of amount of work you are doing, that is more important, right?
yes, yes, full
That
on
is
effort.
also, yeah, that the full effort comes from your side. That is also I'll make sure that, so I'll give it up today. Manohar, this you want to prepare something examples and do something preparing on examples and submit by tomorrow, so and so time. So I think you may Google it, or you can directly write the program in SAS and execute it. It's up to you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. How much practice you do, that helps you.
yeah.
Correct.
I have one more doubt.
Yeah.
For do practicing, we should buy the any license for
That I'll that I'll help you on it. So I'll talk to this uh, Sultan or Ravi from the Brolly Academy. So these, to be honest, so these are the versions. They have, because this is my friend's laptop, so he got installed from Hyderabad. He had, he They charged for 500 or 1,000 bucks for it for install. But there are some free SAS softwares in market. So I'll find out and I'll just give how you can go and install, because in this competitive world now SAS is introduced practice. You can do the practice in the SAS studio directly. Okay, let me just do this one here. Okay, let me just check it in front of you. SAS practice online. I'll help you. I'll help you to write the programs and get the software. Not exactly the same, but we can just uh, find out. I can help you on it. So there is no nothing there, but then
Excuse
I'll help
me, sir.
you.
Is there any difference between normal SAS program or clinical SAS?
No, there is no difference in it.
Okay.
So the data which we have it in a the table or a data set, that might be your clinical data, that might be your uh, banking data or retail or telecom or healthcare. It, project based on the project, so it tells you that whether it is a clinical or banking or retail or healthcare. I'll talk about that clinical later. Any so I'll take 45 days, uh, 45 days to 60, depends. Um, I'll not take classes on every day. Suppose if I take a class every day, so it's difficult to follow you guys, because you need to do the practice. Maybe weekly I'll take 3 classes. Maybe if you are available on Saturday, Sunday, I'll put it in group. If you're fine with the time and date on Saturday, Sunday, then we'll have a class. Maybe we can spend more time as compared to other days. Okay.
Fine. Saturday, Sundays are fine.
Yeah. So it's more on. To be honest, I'm saying I'll just show you the path. So you have to walk. Okay. You have to walk and you have to work and you have to practice. How much you do the practice, that much helps you. I have uh, I have I have teached around 10 students. Those are not students, they are my friends. I have prepared a notes for them. So if they want to give any interview, they are not going to refer anything. They refer only the notes which I prepared. Any interview, they referred that the notebook and that notes suffice for crack the interview. That notes also provide. I'll have let me. You can see my screen, right? You can see my screen. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I have enough materials with me. I think you probably know data SAS DI Studio, something like that. So I have PPTs, I have PDFs. I have because as I mentioned, I've been working since 16 years or 15 years. So I have vast information with me. So I have the topics where I have classes here. So I have, as I mentioned, PDFs, programs I have. So I will share it with you, all these things, but not in initial because if I give, you can just take this. So this is the one good program essentials one, and let me just work on this one. So
What type of materials and what you will provide us?
so I'll provide the notes every day. I provide the programs. Okay, I'll provide the classes. Suppose if I talk about today's class, so I will share this class PPT with you or with the Brolly Academy. Okay. So whatever content which I have, because if I share it, if you go through it, that helps you as well as that helps me, right? So you can say that okay, Ravi is teaching very well, and this guy shared the topics, and it helps me. That also it's increase my credibility also, right? This is one good program essentials which I have because I have checked it in long back, not these days because there's something. It's a very basic thing. It's how SAS reads. So this this has a very handful information in this one. As I mentioned, see syntax error. You put it the dat and miss any semicolon, or if you misspell anything. The documents, you will get enough documentation from my side. The only thing is you need to practice, practice, practice. And I'll once in a week I'll just put exam. Maybe I can just ask to write a code. Okay. So something like create a data set, and from that I want to get the third observation from a given data set. So you have to write the program. This is not something like directly I'm just talking about the courses and I finish the training. It's not like that. So I'll definitely make sure you to prepare very well. And suppose if you are giving an interview, and we have to give full effort, at least 90% of effort. And if you go for the interview, so you have to get the job. So they want to say that. So I don't want to leave these guys. I want to. Suppose Dheeraj or Sonam, they come for an interview and they prepared very well. They given the interview based on my training or my notes. So, okay, I have to take Sonam. I have to take Dheeraj. I have to take Anikant or Manohar or anyone. This that pretty much an assurance I'll give. But the only thing is you need to practice. You need to give full effort and do the practice. If I ask for anything, you just prepare for it and uh, practice from your side and get the notes. That helps you later. How much effort put you, so that helps you later. Anything else you want?
How is the marketing on SAS?
So market. So there are a lot of companies still they are working on SaaS. Suppose if I talk about Wells Fargo, Citi, GSK is a clinical client, Novartis. So because as I mentioned, SAS is a licensed version and it is very secure. So all the companies where they have the sensitive data, so they use SAS. So you'll have a lot of. So I want to know all you guys are in US or you guys are in India also? Who are in India?
So I'm in from India.
Okay, Manohar, you are in India, right? Others?
Yeah.
Others all in US? Okay, so I presume I think everyone are in US. Yeah. So anything else you want to know? Any information required from my
Sir,
side?
what's about fees?
That this Brolly Academy is Ravi or Sultana will talk about that. But my assurance is I'll give full-fledged training material or explanation. If you stuck anything, I'll help you out. I'll help you out in the interview questions. I'll help you out in the project. I'll help you out
Excuse
in the
me, sir, is
certification.
there any possibility to conduct offline classes 1 or 2 times?
Offline, I'm sitting in Bangalore, but offline,
Okay.
how it is possible? Because people are in different places, right? Anything else you want to know? And the class duration might be it's 1 hour. Based on I can extend another half an hour also if required. If you have any doubts. So today's class is at 6:30, right? It's already past 1 hour. Today just you have the glimpse on SAS. What is SAS about? But if you have any doubts, you can just raise it to me in future, or you can WhatsApp me. You can just ask questions. I'll give my number.
Like in interview sections, like we can give that by own interviews, or anyone will help you interview section as well.
Yeah, I'll take market interviews because I'm taking interviews in my company right now. So I'll take an interview, or I have friends. Maybe I'll give your number and maybe he'll call or they'll call you and take a market interview. Because I might ask different questions and he might have these different questions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So
you guys can refer us as well, like after completion of course also.
uh, so if you're a fresher, so definitely you can refer.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think I'm thinking about to go to enter into fresher only. So
you were
because of
in
the yeah,
you were in India.
yeah, I'm from India only. It's
In
caste system.
India, it's difficult to get a job as a fresher. To be honest, you definitely need some experience. Because if I say directly, if I say Manohar, you can just try with the fresher. I don't want to, lie on it because I know in India, but I'm not about. I don't know about US, but in India, you get a job as a fresher, it's very difficult. You need to put some experience. So
Like
in experience, so see, if you put an experience and the interviewer might definitely know. So you're from a genuine experience or a fake experience. The thing is, once you get in the company, so are you meet their expectations or not? So that is the first thing.
well, like more than 2 years, it's difficult to survey, right?
No, 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 no. See, in SAS, as I'm telling, the questions 99% will be the same. So they'll ask uh, the way of asking. So, for example, if I ask what are the data types in SAS, so you say numerical characters. The other interviewer might ask about what is the data type of uh, time in SAS, because you know the answer, right? That is a numeric, but
Yeah.
the way of asking is different. Anything else you want to know?
Yeah, I got it everything. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. The job types, can you explain me? It will available as
So
a
sorry, Jyoti,
part-time or
sorry, I'm
work
missing
from
you.
home, or because I'm getting any opportunity here too.
So you are based out
We
in
can't
US.
come to that. No,
You
no.
based
I'm from India only.
okay. So it depends. It depends
That I
because
want to know that when the
yeah, go ahead.
they will
Go ahead,
provide
Jyoti.
us as that work from home is possible in a SAS clinical SAS.
Uh, it see it depends on the client. It's
Okay.
possible. So they might ask for you
No,
come
they will.
to
Till now, any companies are there too, and they are like providing this work from home.
work from home. Yeah, that is what I'm saying. So they might ask you come to office for 1 or 2 days in a week. There are some companies they are giving work from home permanently. There are some other companies, but it bit rare.
Rate.
Yeah, because I want to give the truthful information. Suppose if I say good, if I say the
Yes, sir.
information something false, so it might. So next you can directly Ravi. What did you say? You said the work from home offices are very few, very huge, and you said uh, you were given the wrong information. So I don't want to lie. I want to be honest on it. Anything else you want to know? The sessions and when do we start the session and the SAS software, those things I'll connect with Brolly Academy, or I can talk to Sultana or Ravi on this one. So they will give the information. So when we can start the session. So this is just a demo. You're clear?
Yeah, Ravi.
Anything else you want to know, or can just wind up the call? Sorry.
Yeah, we can wind up.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks
Thank,
for your
thank,
time. We'll see you later.
yeah, thank
Thanks a
Okay.
lot.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks. Bye.